Hello everyone and welcome to HitBullsEye. Today is 30th of December and we are going to discuss some really important news from today in this session. So if you are new to this channel or if you have seen these videos for the first time, do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you receive the notifications of these videos as and when we post them. So let's have a look at the most important news of today. First, diplomat Vikram Misri has been named as the Deputy NSA or Deputy National Security Advisor of India. So that is an important news. We'll see who Vikram Misri is. Secondly, a quantum laboratory is going to be established by the government of India in Madhya Pradesh at a place called Mahao. So we'll see what this place is, what is a quantum laboratory, how is it going to help India's science and technology sector and all that. In the third important news, Maharashtra government has amended the criminal procedural laws, and that is called the Shakti Criminal Laws Maharashtra Amendment Act. So we will see how a state government can amend a union legislation and what is that change that Maharashtra has actually done. Then in the fourth news, Sankalp Smark has been established in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. We will see what is Sankalp Smark, in whose memory has it been erected. And finally, a new country has become the member of New Development Bank. So we will also see which country is that, what is New Development Bank, and how is India related to the New Development Bank. Let's have a look at all these important news one by one. So firstly, diplomat Mr. Vikram Misri has been named as India's Deputy National Security Advisor. So already, so who is the National Security Advisor of India? If anyone can tell me. Mr. Ajit Doval, yes. So Mr. Ajit Doval is the National Security Advisor of India. And along with that, there are various Deputy National Security Advisors as well. So Mr. Diplomat Vikram Misri has been appointed as the Deputy National Security Advisor. And he is a 1989 batch IFS officer or Indian Foreign Service officer. He has also served as Indian ambassador to China for 3 years. And out of these 3 years, for 2 years, India and China have not been enjoying really good relations. So that is important because this is a tough appointment that Mr. Misri is coming from. So Mr. Misri will report to NSA Mr. Ajit Doval. And at present, the other deputy NSAs are Rajinder Khanna, Pankaj Saran, and Dattatreya Podsalgaikar. So all these are the deputy NSAs. So 4 deputy NSAs and 1 national security advisor. This is what the security architecture of India at the top looks like. In the second important news, a quantum laboratory is going to be established at Mahao in MP. And an interesting fact, Mahao is actually an acronym. So Mahao means Military Headquarters of War. So during the British times, it used to be the military headquarters of war of the British Indian force. So now a quantum laboratory is going to be established there. So the Indian Army, with support from NSCS, that is National Security Council Secretariat, has recently established the quantum lab at Military College of Telecommunication Engineering, MCTE in Mahao in MP, so that research and training can be done in this developing field of quantum technology. Basically, what is quantum technology? Anything that is done at a very, very large scale is known as, quantum. For example, quantum computing. So if a usual computer performs a very simple calculation, a quantum computer will be able to process a lot of information, gigantic data, and will be able to come out with a useful analysis. So Indian Army has also established an artificial intelligence center in the same institution, which is the MCTE Mahao. And it has over 140 deployments in forward areas and it has support from industry as well as academia. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ और सिर्फ मिलिट्री एंड डिफेंस आर गोइंग टू बी देयर, यहाँ पर इंडस्ट्री और एकेडमिया के लोग भी होंगे ताकि ये रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट ओरिएंटेड एक्टिविटी हो सके. In fact, training or cyber warfare is already being imparted here through cyber security labs. क्योंकि हमें पता है that the next warfare that is going to destroy a lot more than physical warfare is cyber warfare. So that's why we are also training ourselves to save ourselves from the same. So the research undertaken by Indian Army in the field of quantum technology, उसका फायदा क्या होगा जब हम यहाँ पर quantum technology में research करेंगे, so that next generation communication and cryptography can be developed. और जो Indian Armed Forces है वो post quantum cryptography पे mastery हासिल कर सके. That is the main thing. So it's like a cutting edge technology where Indian Armed Forces are still trying to gather some hold. की थ्रस्ट एरियाज इसमें क्या रहेंगे? क्वांटम की डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, क्वांटम कम्युनिकेशन, क्वांटम कंप्यूटिंग एंड पोस्ट क्वांटम क्रिप्टोग्राफी. काफी ज्यादा टेक्निकल, इतना ज्यादा डिटेल में जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. जस्ट नीड टू नो दैट अ क्वांटम लैब विद क्वांटम मींस every operation at a very large scale is going to be there. Next, yes, so we know that a few years back the government of India amended the Criminal Procedure Code, the Indian Evidence Act and the Indian Penal Code to give stringent punishment to crimes against women, those who are accused of crimes against women. For example, there were provisions of increased sentences like from 10 to 20 years, from 20 years to 30 years, then life imprisonment, in some cases even death penalty, and fines were also increased. But the criminal law is a subject of concurrent list under the Constitution of India. So under the Constitution of India, there are 3 lists of subjects. The first list contains the subjects on which only the parliament can make a law, which is called the union list. In the second list, only the states can make laws. But in the third list, which is the concurrent list, both center as well as states can make their own laws. So criminal law apparently is in the concurrent list. That's why even the law is passed by the center government, amendment can be done by Maharashtra or any other state government. So now Maharashtra, exercising that power, has passed the Shakti Criminal Laws Maharashtra Amendment Act. What they have basically done is they have increased the punishment in many cases of rape and molestation to death penalty. It has become the second state after Andhra Pradesh to approve death penalty for rape and gang rape. In the All India law, the law that is applicable in all other states, death penalty is applicable only in case of repeat offense of rape and gang rape. But here they are making it the first time itself. If the offense is heinous, if it is rarest of rare, and if it involves a lot of brutality. So the existing law on rape has provisions of death penalty only in cases of repeated offenses. But under this act, even in case of rape and gang rape, there is provision for death. It is not mandatory, but the judge now has the discretion whether to award a life sentence or death penalty. Also, there are some other provisions. For example, the trial has to be completed within 30 working days so that the fast and speedy trial can be there. The case does not linger on for like months or years, right? Then in case of acid attacks, punishment has been enhanced to a minimum of 15 years. Earlier it was 5 years minimum, now it is 15 years minimum. So that means the crimes against women, Maharashtra has done this amendment so that the punishments have increased many-fold. And it has been done because people are enraged over the increasing crimes against women. So many states are effecting such changes. Next, Sankalp Smark has been established in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Basically, it is in memory of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, who had arrived at this place in 1931. So it's been 90 years since Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose arrived at the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So let's see the history of this place. Basically, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose had left India, but he came back with the aim of conquering India and defeating the Britishers. So he came to India on 30th of December 1943, and a national flag was hoisted for the first time. And in fact, for those of you who do not know, Andaman and Nicobar became the first territory of India where the tricolor was hoisted, which was relieved from the control of the British. And it was done because of the efforts of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. He, along with the Indian National Army soldiers, who were the POWs, the prisoners of war, and along with Japanese forces, invaded India from that side. From the sea, they occupied Andaman and Nicobar, and then they went through Northeast India, although that campaign could not succeed. So Netaji escaped the British in 1941. So he ran away so that he could come back with a force. And on 29th December 1943, he came back and unfurled a flag the next day. So that's why it has been unveiled today on 30th of December, because it was on this day the national flag was hoisted by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. So that's why this Samparks mark has been established here, so that this historic moment can be, cemented. Then in another news, a new development bank has a new member this year, that is Egypt. First of all, let us see what is new development bank. So just like there are other multinational or multilateral international economic institutions like World Bank, the Asian Development Bank, etc., the new development bank was an initiative of the BRICS countries. The BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So these 5 countries are known as a grouping called BRICS, and they started this bank called BRICS New Development Bank, or NDB, and it was started somewhere in 2015. What was the idea behind it? So that the other institutions like World Bank, they are dominated by United States. So these developing countries, they wanted to carve a niche for themselves. So they wanted to establish a parallel network where developing countries can get assistance loans. That's why a new development bank was constituted. And this year, Egypt has become the 4th member of BRICS in this year itself. Earlier, Bangladesh, United Arab Emirates, and Uruguay became the members of New Development Bank in September 2021. So once the membership of this bank will increase, only then it can project itself as a competitor or as a viable alternative to the World Bank or the Asian Development Bank. So the more and more members join it, the more legitimacy it gains. So this bank aims to mobilize resources for development projects in BRICS, emerging economies, and developing countries. So the major focus area, it does not mean that the loans will only be given to the BRICS countries. No, the loans will be given to other emerging countries and developing countries. So preferably. So for example, if US becomes a member of New Development Bank, it's very unlikely that BRICS Bank will offer a loan to USA, because the thrust area is underdeveloped and developing countries, not developed countries, right? So the headquarters of this bank is in Shanghai, which is in China, and its regional office, first regional office was opened in Johannesburg, South Africa. Second regional office was in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and third regional office was in Moscow in Russia. So that means only India and you can say, only India remains where there is no regional office. So very soon a regional office should be opened here as well, because out of the BRICS, only India remains where there is no regional office. All other 4 countries have some kind of offices there. So if we talk about the progress of NDB, it has so far approved 80 projects in all its member countries, and it has lent $30 billion, which is a big amount. And it is giving loans and development assistance in cases of transportation, sanitation and water, clean energy, digital infrastructure, social infrastructure, and urban development. So such kind of development assistance, India has always been getting from World Bank or Asian Development Bank, but now we have a new development bank, so that the dominance of Western countries and the USA can be reduced. So it's a matter of pride for BRICS as well as for India that the membership of NDB is expanding, and it will be very soon able to project itself as an alternative to the World Bank. So that is all that I wanted to discuss with you today. Very fine news, very fine pointers that are relevant from your exam point of view. If you like the content, do check out our website by clicking on the link in the description below, or you can log on to gk.hitbullseye.com. So by going on that website, you can access some of our free content that is available. And you can also see various courses and testimonials that are a testimony to the quality of teaching at HitBullsEye. That is it for today. This is me, Manish Mittal. Thank you so much and take care.